I'm Bridget Johnson, and today I'm sitting down with Curt Sullivan, Bondurant's mayor. Thank you for being here with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm married, I have three kids, one currently in college, one that's a junior in high school, and I have a fourth grader. Lived in Bondurant since 2005, been engaged in local organizations such as the Men's Club, and then started as an elected official not too long after that, serving on planning and zoning and city council and mayor.
So what are some of the accomplishments that you're most proud of that you've helped do while being mayor?
That's a great question. And I mean, there are so many things that we've accomplished as council over the last 15 years that I've been involved here in Bondurant, with the trailhead, the expanding of the parks and the trails, expanding, diverse housing here in the community, and then also expanding a lot of the commercial industrial growth here where we have a lot of job opportunities for our residents. And so all that together, I can't pick out just one, but I think those are probably the biggest things, is really about diversifying a lot of the development that we've seen here in town.
Planning is one of Curt's strengths. He has a background in planning through college studies as well as his work environment as well. And from early on years ago, just that forward thinking, that looking ahead multiple years in the future, and really isolating challenges down to actionable steps to be able to progress an item to be able to make accomplishment on.
Well, when I was on council, some of the projects were pretty mundane, because we had not enough money to do all the things that we needed to do. But that was one of the things that we, as council and Curt, really wanted to do, is we wanted to make sure we were fiscally responsible. So a lot of the projects we did were some road improvements. But again, going back to that infrastructure, the projects that we really made a difference, especially the one project that really made a difference in this town, was to make the decision to bring sewer and water up to where and through the land that Amazon exists on now. And that really was a project that it needed to be done. We were able to make that a priority and get it done. And as a result, that particular area blossomed with the concrete plant, with Amazon, with Mid-Country Machine. I mean, all of that is a direct result of what happened. Both Amazon buildings, everything in that corner is a result of that particular decision. And that was one of the biggest projects that we did, and the commitments we made. And that was, under Curt's leadership, and it really, like I said, it really paid off with what happened in that area.
I recall one project in particular was about Garfield Street and the extension that's going to go south there, and it's not in existence yet, but we're planning for it. And this is something that Curt had started talking about several years ago, and it was a means of accomplishing a couple of different things. One, it's going to open up a whole new area of Bondurant that we didn't previously, we don't have any development in, really. And two, it's going to open up additional opportunities to divert or possibly divert traffic for the schools that are coming in, for parents dropping off kids to the schools. So that's something that I think was a good example, and that happened years ago. So that's kind of how this city stuff has to work, and he just, it was a good example of how he looked ahead to plan for something down the road that will be useful someday.
What is your most cherished mayoral duty or experience that you've had?
Just meeting with the people, and engaging them throughout my years on council and as mayor, listening to what the needs are in our community, have an opportunity to interact with other legislators, meeting with other mayors in the metro area. I did have a unique opportunity to meet the President of the United States after the tornadoes came through Bondurant. Had an opportunity to meet with the President after that incident, so that's fairly interesting.
You know, Curt is an excellent leader. He's calm, collected, he's very analytical, and he doesn't try to take on too much. He genuinely is concerned and interested in other people's thoughts and beliefs. Great example to look up to.
So who is your inspiration?
Kind of starts, I guess, with people that I engaged with here in the community at the very beginning. Got to meet a lot of great people within at the men's club. With I want to name like Bruce Cordes, Al Eady, and other members there that really kind of helped get me involved with a lot of things here in town. But then meeting with other people within the area, and just seeing some of the things that they've done here in the metro and even in the community, really helps set the stage and the groundwork for what we're really trying to do here in the community. And so, a lot of that starts with growing up and relying on my parents and some of the values that they instituted within me. Kind of started there. So.
I think one of the things that made Curt was, he's kind of a quiet guy, but he's also very deliberative about what he says, and that calm, cool demeanor has been, I think, good for the city at a time when we're bustling and growing. So I think that was one of his greatest leadership strengths there.
What advice would you give to our incoming mayor?
Be a good listener. Understand what the issues are. Talking with the people and understanding. You're never going to have a 100% solution in everything you face, but being a good listener and understanding what the issues are, and try to come up with what we think is a viable solution for the majority. And then think about the future, right? And that's where we need to start planning and thinking about that 5, 10-year, 15-year cycle and where we're going to be going in the future. And so focusing on the future is going to be key.
Some cities and some city leaders approach the job a little differently. One thing that I'm very appreciative for Curt and for modeling this behavior was transparency. And it really is a matter of encouraging all council members to show up to a council meeting, be researched, have an understanding of what's going on and what's being discussed, have your thoughts and opinions on it, but have an open mind and willingness to discuss those issues and discuss it in a group format, and then we'll figure those problems out and figure out the solutions together. And it's a great way of moving together as one organization, and it's certainly a quality that I plan on continuing in the years coming ahead.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we as the council and Curt as mayor, we really took a lead on doing in focusing on infrastructure that would bring the types of businesses that we wanted and bring business as opposed to just houses. So that switch that we made several years ago, and with Curt at the helm, it really has paid dividends for the city, especially lately with Amazon and other things. So it was I think that particular emphasis that we made and Curt led on was something that was very important for the city.
When I first joined the council, I had agreed to serve as the planning and zoning liaison for the commission here. And for the first several meetings, and in fact there might have been a couple of months, I was a little bit unsure, didn't have a whole lot of experience with planning and zoning. But this speaks volumes to Curt's character and his leadership. So when I first started attending these meetings, Curt would attend with me. And we would spend time together talking about some of the issues. He would ask questions and serve as a real-life example for some of those things to think through when you're considering new developments or new projects here in town that the commission was a part of. So I think that was a fantastic way of helping me transition into that role and really leading through example. And so I'm very appreciative for him for doing that.
Well, I wish him luck. Congratulations on the many years of public service. And he's be able to enjoy a little extra time now. I'll give him a little ribbing of hopefully now he has time to get some urban chickens and pass that ordinance we never were able to do. So
I appreciate him. I appreciate his leadership his example that he's lived, and I appreciate his friendship.
No, it's been a pleasure representing Bondurant over the last 15 years. A lot of people entrusted me by voting me in as a city council member and as mayor, and it just getting to a point in time where I just am not physically able to dedicate enough time in this position. That's why I'm stepping away from this. But I appreciate everyone's support over the last 15 years.